In 1945, Germany was a graveyard of factories. Cities were reduced to ash, railways twisted into metal skeletons, entire industrial regions flattened beyond recognition. The country that had once engineered some of the most advanced machines in the world was now starving, divided, occupied, and humiliated. Its currency was worthless. Its infrastructure was shattered. Its reputation was toxic. By every measurable standard, Germany should have disappeared from the ranks of serious economic powers for generations. And yet, within a few decades, it became the industrial engine of Europe, one of the largest exporters on Earth, and a country whose products define precision, quality, and dominance. The question is not whether Germany rebuilt. The question is how it built something even stronger than before. Because what emerged after the war was not just recovery. It was a hidden economic machine, carefully structured, culturally reinforced, politically protected, and globally deployed. And that machine is still running today. To understand Germany's rise, you have to begin with total collapse. At the end of World War II, industrial output had fallen dramatically. Major cities like Berlin, Hamburg, and Dresden were devastated. Millions were displaced. The nation was divided into occupation zones. Later, that division hardened into two separate states, West Germany and East Germany. One would follow a capitalist model aligned with the West. The other would operate under Soviet-style central planning. The story of the hidden economic machine begins in West Germany, officially known as the Federal Republic of Germany. What it faced in 1949 was not just physical destruction, but a complete crisis of legitimacy. How do you convince the world to trade with you again when the world associates your name with catastrophe? The first turning point came with structural reform. The introduction of the Deutschmark in 1948 stabilized the currency and restored confidence in transactions. The Marshall Plan provided financial assistance from the United States. But here's where many misunderstand the story. The money helped, but it was not the miracle. Many countries received aid. Few became export superpowers. The real transformation came from something deeper. The architecture of Germany's economic model, it was not built for short-term consumption. It was built for long-term industrial dominance. Central to this design was what became known as the social market economy. It was neither pure capitalism nor state socialism. It combined free markets with strong institutional frameworks, social protections, and coordination between business, labor, and government. Competition was encouraged, but chaos was avoided. Companies could innovate, but they operated within a system that valued stability over speculation. This balance created something powerful: trust. Workers trusted companies. Companies trusted banks. Banks trusted industry, and the government acted less as a controller and more as a stabilizer. But the true core of Germany's hidden machine lies in something outsiders rarely notice. These are small and medium-sized enterprises, often family-owned, deeply specialized, and unlike flashy multinational giants, Mittelstand firms dominate niche markets. They produce precision components, specialized machinery, chemical compounds, and industrial tools that global supply chains depend on. Many are world leaders in extremely specific sectors that most consumers have never heard of. They do not chase hype. They chase mastery. Their time horizon is generational, not quarterly. This structure created resilience because the economy was not dependent on a handful of megacorporations. It was diversified across thousands of specialized producers. When one sector slowed, others compensated. When global demand shifted, these firms adapted with technical expertise. They invested heavily in research and development, not for publicity, but for incremental improvement. Perfection was not a marketing slogan. It was a production philosophy. Another pillar of the machine is Germany's dual education system. Instead of pushing every young person toward university, the country built a respected vocational training pathway. Students split their time between classroom instruction and on-the-job apprenticeships. Companies actively participate in training future workers. Skills are not abstract. They are practical and immediately connected to industry needs. This system produces highly skilled technicians machinists, engineers, and industrial specialists. It ensures that factories are not just filled with labor, but with expertise. This alignment between education and industry eliminates a common economic problem: mismatch. In many countries, graduates struggle to find work aligned with their degrees, while industries struggle to find qualified workers. Germany engineered away that friction. Its workforce is one of its greatest competitive advantages. When a German factory produces machinery, it is not simply assembling parts. It is executing decades of accumulated know-how embedded in its labor force. Now, consider industrial clustering. Regions like Baden-Württemberg and Bavaria develop dense networks of suppliers, manufacturers, research institutions, and technical universities. When companies are geographically close, innovation accelerates. Knowledge spills over. Collaboration becomes easier. Competition sharpens quality. This ecosystem effect transformed southern Germany into one of the most powerful industrial regions in the world. Companies such as Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz became global symbols of engineering excellence. But behind them stood thousands of specialized suppliers feeding the ecosystem. Exports became the bloodstream of the machine. Germany does not rely primarily on domestic consumption. It produces high-value goods that the world demands: automobiles, industrial machinery, chemicals, medical equipment, and precision tools. Its trade surplus reflects this orientation. Instead of competing on low wages, Germany competes on quality and technological depth. Its products are expensive because they are engineered to outperform alternatives. The banking system also plays a crucial role. Unlike purely speculative financial systems, German banks historically maintained close relationships with industry. They provided long-term financing and stability rather than short-term market pressure. Regional banks supported local companies. This decentralized financial structure reinforced the middle. Companies were not forced into risky expansions just to satisfy shareholders seeking immediate returns. Labor relations form another component of the hidden structure. Germany practices co-determination, where worker representatives sit on corporate supervisory boards. This model encourages dialogue rather than confrontation. Strikes happen, but systemic breakdowns are rare. The culture prioritizes negotiation. When crises hit, such as the global financial crisis of 2008, Germany implemented programs that reduced working hours instead of mass layoffs. This preserved skills within companies and allowed rapid recovery when demand returned. Then there is discipline not as a stereotype, but as a systemic principle. Contracts are respected. Standards are rigorous. Regulations are enforced. Planning is meticulous. Infrastructure is maintained. Bureaucracy exists, but it functions within predictable rules. Businesses can forecast with relative confidence. Stability reduces uncertainty, and reduced uncertainty encourages investment. However, the machine does not operate in isolation. Germany embedded itself deeply within the European Union. The common market expanded its export reach. The euro eliminated currency volatility within much of Europe. As the largest economy in the EU, Germany gained significant influence over economic policy. Its fiscal discipline shaped European monetary rules. Critics argue that the euro benefits German exporters by preventing weaker European currencies from devaluing independently. Supporters argue that integration strengthened the entire continent. Regardless of perspective, Germany leveraged European integration strategically. Energy policy also influenced the machine. For decades, Germany relied on a mix of domestic production, nuclear power, and imported natural gas, including supplies from Russia. Cheap energy supported heavy industry, but this dependency introduced vulnerability. When geopolitical tensions escalated and energy flows were disrupted, German industry faced rising costs. The hidden machine revealed a weak point: external dependence on critical inputs. Demographics present another challenge. Germany has an aging population. A shrinking workforce threatens long-term growth. To counter this, the country has increased immigration and invested in automation. Robotics and advanced manufacturing technologies compensate for labor shortages. German factories are among the most automated in the world. Efficiency becomes not just an advantage, but a necessity. Digital transformation poses both opportunity and risk. While Germany excels in mechanical engineering, it has sometimes lagged in digital consumer platforms compared to the United States and China. The machine built for industrial supremacy must now adapt to artificial intelligence, software ecosystems, and data-driven industries. The question is whether the same structural strengths such as specialization, coordination can pivot toward digital leadership. Climate policy is another frontier. Germany has committed to ambitious environmental targets. Transitioning to renewable energy requires massive infrastructure investment. It also challenges energy-intensive industries like steel and chemicals. Yet, innovation often thrives under constraint. The push toward green technology may create new export sectors, from advanced batteries to hydrogen systems. Through all these transformations, one principle remains constant: incremental excellence. Germany rarely seeks explosive speculative growth. It prefers steady expansion built on competence. This mindset reduces volatility but can slow radical change. It is both strength and limitation. The hidden machine is powerful because it avoids extremes. But in a rapidly shifting global economy, caution must coexist with agility. So what exactly is the secret system that built a superpower? It is not a single policy or moment. It is an interconnected network of institutions, cultural norms, financial structures, educational pathways, industrial ecosystems, and export orientation. Remove one element, and the machine weakens. Together, they form a reinforcing loop. Skilled workers improve production quality. High-quality production strengthens exports. Strong exports finance research. Research enhances specialization. Specialization reinforces global demand. The myth of overnight success obscures the truth. Germany's rise was methodical. It required painful reforms, social compromise, and relentless focus on industrial strength. It required rebuilding trust after moral and physical collapse. It required resisting short-term temptations in favor of structural durability. Today, when you see a German car on the road or a German machine in a factory, you are witnessing the visible output of an invisible system. That system was forged in crisis, refined through cooperation, and sustained by discipline. It is not flawless. It faces energy shocks, demographic pressure, technological disruption, and geopolitical uncertainty. But it remains one of the most sophisticated economic architectures ever constructed. And perhaps the most remarkable part is this: the machine was never designed to dominate headlines. It was designed to function quietly, relentlessly, systematically. While other economies chase trends, Germany reinforces foundations. While others celebrate rapid growth, Germany protects structural integrity. Superpowers are often imagined as loud, militaristic, or politically flamboyant. Germany's power is different. It is embedded in supply chains, engineering standards, industrial contracts, and export networks. The truth revealed is not dramatic in a cinematic sense. It is more profound than that. Germany became a superpower not by accident, not by miracle, and not by one brilliant leader. It did so by constructing a resilient, deeply integrated economic machine where culture, policy, education, and industry move in alignment. The world sees the products. Few see the system. And as long as that system adapts without abandoning its core principles, the machine will continue to run steady, calculated, and formidable.